Good morning. Oh, goodness, look at this. I am just having one of those mornings in which I should have been with you at least 15 minutes ago, but I wanted to find fine needles with a long eye so that I could use this. I thought I might need the ones with the wire, and I put them away carefully, and heaven help me for putting things away carefully, because it's like the end of the long road when I put them away carefully. And I have so many drawers around here, well, you know the story. So, thank you for joining me. I'm going to just continue with yesterday's work. But before I do that, I wanted to share this with you. I made this ages ago, and as you can see, it is a crazy quilt. And what I did, excuse me, as I look back on it, it's quite an adventure in looking back. I wanted to practice some needlepoint stitches, and as you can see, they're all just long stitches that requires counting threads and sticking the needle in the hole. And I thought to myself, this might work out nicely as a journal cover. And I have had this at least 8 years. As you can see, it was done on a frame so that it is nice and flat. And then yesterday, when I was looking around for this white fabric, I discovered this piece. I have no idea whether I bought it, whether it was gifted to me, or whether it came down from above. I have no idea. But look at that with this. Is this not just made for each other? And no, I'm not going to put it in the lining. I'm going to do some cutting of some of the pieces and attaching over top of this piece of needlepoint. Here's the blue, here is the pink, green, here is this. Well, if I were to just cut out one little bit, mightn't that be a pretty piece to applique on for the cover? And this is a piece of linen, and it's very nicely made because it's the threads look like this if you look closely at them. Well, I just wanted to share this as it's going to happen, and I will probably do a lot of it on screen. I know that many of you are not interested in this bit, but I'm going to be, I've decided that for Halloween, I'm going to do something for this year that I can date for this year. And the background, it's not going to be big. I found a frame, an orange frame, about like so. It's a little bit nicer than dollar store frame, but they work a treat too. Wow, do they? And I thought I would show you some crazy stitches, some that work a treat. They look like they're a big deal, but all they are is straight stitches. All they are is 1, 2, 3, 4, probably over 4, and you step down a little bit. It's just, some of them are a little bit more difficult. Some of them are, these two are essentially the same stitches. This looks like this and this are the same stitches, but this is variegated. That's all. It's just doing its thing. So, that's my share before I get started on this puppy. What I wanted to do is share this with the little bit that I did in the center with you, work a little bit on this one, and then this is finished enough that I could show you some of the start here on the outside of the flower, up against this bit, because it's a nice section. So let me get on my prized puppies here. I think I won these when I was a member of a needlepoint guild. I think I won these, and I thought, well, I don't really need them. Thank God I kept them. Okay. Now, I'm going to get close so that you can see what I did in the middle. Come on, calm down. Calm down. Oh, let me drop the glasses. Okay, that's better. Now, these centers, I used the darker blue and some of the lighter, and these are all straight stitches. I did not make any attempt to do this kind of thing. In fact, the only attempt to do that on the dark was right here in this area. And then maybe I'll do some of the satin stitching on this petal here, and maybe one up here. The rest I will do straight stitches. This is mine. I can do with it as I please. This is only, this stamped part is only a suggestion. But when I work on this, I decided that I wanted some finer needles, because I might only be working with 2 strands. And I finally found these, thank heavens. These are tapestry needles. The brand is, oh my goodness, I apologize. Let me get back out so that you can see. Okay, this is John James, which is a very good quality. Years ago, they were only $1.70. Well, we don't know. Size 28, tapestry. It has to say tapestry. And the reason it says tapestry is because this is an extremely fine needle. If I'll show you the comparison between that and the one I was working on. There is almost no comparison there. But they both have that long eye, so that they can be used. In other words, I can do the, whoopsie daisy, this is gold. Mustn't throw my gold around. I would advise you not to be roped into the idea of some of the needles are now gold. Not gold, but you know what I mean. They're made to look like gold, and they're good quality. I'm not questioning that, but you pay an arm and a leg for the luxury of look at my needle. Okay, so let me put this back in its home. Okay, out of the way, and let's work on let's work over here. I'm going to put in some quick little satin stitches right there. This is the dark, and we were using 3 strands. No, come down here, Carol. There we go. I'm so used to having holes to look at, but this is the real world of embroidery. And I'm going to go straight down there. Let me just go over this bit right here. I hope that you are having a good day and finding some time to do some crafting or some stitching. I want to thank all of you who watched for part one of this, because it shows me that you obviously have some interest in what I'm sharing with you. And I know that it is a little bit different from the slow stitching that some people do. But actually, I just wanted to show you that there's a different world out there. I'm going to look for the needlepoint paper. I have a bit, but I'm going to show you that, because after all, it is paper. And I know that you can, if it's not too wet, you can put some, oh, I don't like that one. Let's get this one up. There we go. Good, there we go. You can use acrylic on it. You can use, if you water it down a little bit, but not too much. Can't have, you don't want to push it too far, because it is paper. And we don't want it to get crazy on the, I'm not happy with this guy here now. He's getting ahead of himself. I'm used to being able to control that, but there we go. Okay, that one will be better. Now, where was I? Oh, yes. I'm learning by doing with you. And as I say, I am happy that so many of you are interested in maybe trying a new thing, or a new way of doing an old thing. Because this is basic embroidery. And I want one in between those two. Sorry, if I'm going to do satin stitch, then I want, what? Oh, I hate that. Oh, goodness gracious. Got a little, wasn't paying attention while I was chatting with you. I remember when I started this that I would be afraid that I would have a lot more trouble than I'm having with my my fingertip neuropathy issue. But every time I want to gripe, I say it's getting better. I'm handling things better. I'm threading needles, as long as I have my needle threader. I'm threading needles better. That looks a little better now. And yes, they are kind of numb, but they could be worse. And maybe they will be as time goes by. But I'll get on the worry train when it hits my station. There we go. Excuse me. Starting to look like satin stitch. Right there. Now you can cut down on the amount of this that you do by doing it this way, because those are all straight stitches. Carefully placed, and that's it. They are straight stitches. And practice makes perfect. I'm starting to realize that you have to handle this frame, or stretcher, or whatever you might want to call it. You have to handle it with your fingers. In other words, my fingers placed under here where I'm working to hold it. And I just evolved into this. I didn't, even yesterday, I had no idea that that would help. But it does. Well, isn't that a stupid little stitch? And there's going to be quite a difference when I use the number 28, because it's not going to be this thick. Well, that tells me there has to be one in between again. And those number 28s have a sharp point. This really doesn't, which makes the chore a little bit more of a chore. Okay. So, I'm going to stop now, and I'm going to go over here and show you the playing. Now I'm going to make sure I have this needle close to the work, and let's say I'm going to play on this, in this area right here. I've gotten out my pinks. This time I promise not to wallow around and take too much time and aggravate you. What do I want there? A mid-range color. I can't use that silk because it's called for already. Colors. Don't want it to be too bright, at least not right now. Okay, you go over here. That's got too much orange in it. That's, into the reds. Don't want that. That's more of a mauve. Love it, but don't want that now. It's a pretty one. No, that's easy on the eyes. That talks to my eyes. Oops. Okay. Let's see what we have here. This is a new one. It's number 760. And I'll put that over here. What number of strands am I going to want? I think we'll try 2. We could do 1, but that would be a different kind of stitchery altogether. Now, I'm all about the that finer needle that I brought out, but let's see what my fingers think of it. It's the same length, or it should be. Oh no, a little tiny bit shorter. Okay. Okay. We can do this, Carol. There's a little something on this. This is liable to have to go to its reward, and you get it out another one. There's a little burr on it. Okay. Let's see now. Now, I'm coming right up into the satin stitching because I want to, and maybe 1, 2, 3. I don't like I don't like a French knot that's too puny. But each to his own. And that one got a little sloppy, but I also don't mind sloppy ones. I'll show you this close up. Right now, let's see how we're doing here. Okay. Alrighty. 1, 2, 3. Hold it and go down. Holding makes a more perfect French knot. There you go. So you can see we have different types and different sizes, only because of the way I manipulated the thread. Let's go in there close. Two, 3, hold it. What am I doing? What's happening? What don't I like? Something's amiss here. Oh, I saw. Okay. We don't like that. We don't like that. Okay. I see what's going on here. Nothing much. And right down. Should put another one here. Yes. Well, that went right in where it belonged. Two, 3. See how tiny that one is in comparison? So, we have this little cluster. I want this cluster to grow just a little bit. And then this really fine needle certainly is happier in this fabric and easier to work with. And I think one more up here. And you're saying, oh, she did all that work for the satin stitch. But I'm all about playing now. And playing takes over. Oh yes, look at that one. Oh, where are you? Look at that one. Oh yes. That's starting to look like a flower now, not little soldiers. Let's see about some let's see about some greenery. And one more for safety's sake. And that doesn't make any difference because it's the back and it'll probably be glued to something. Okay. Now, oh my goodness, I don't have a magnet. I'm going to put that down way up there out of harm's way. So, this is the road that we're going on. Now, the green basket. That's on the garbage can. That's the blues. Here we have the greens. And I don't trust this. It's coming off the garbage can because my knee is liable to hit it and I would probably say some words that I would not want you to hear. Because that would be one mess. That would be like dropping pins. And any of you who have ever dropped straight pins know what that is like. Alrighty now. I'm having a feeling that I want the greens to stand up for themselves. What have we here? What is it? Cotton. Okay, cotton. Not color fast. Well, I'm not going to dip it in water. But this, see the variety of colors that we get here? Shall we? Sure, why not? As my mother would say, you only live once, girl. Make the most of it. Okay, now. See that those are unused. And such pretty greens, and yet not much more in cost than DMC. This is the way I keep my, not too tight, but this is the way I keep my threads from becoming more than I want them to. Let's see how many strands we get here. Oh, okay, 6. Now I'm going to keep them going light to dark, and this one that comes out next is also going to go light to dark because you get an entirely different look if you lay down the thread next to it, dark to light. I've tried both ways, and I'm not too tickled by by the effect that putting them heads to feet does. Okay, now let's not be a pill here. There we go. Now this at the end means nothing. It will come out if you've taken it. If you've taken it out, if you've stranded it, it falls out. Whatever it thinks it wants to do down there doesn't happen. Okay, now. So I can't pick up the needle, so I'm going to drag it to the end of the table. And pull through. Knot. Now, I was ever a girl to color inside the lines, but Stitchery changes that. Get that first leaf. What are you doing here? You're causing a problem? I know it. I knew you would do it, and still I insisted on thinking that I could do it. So, another example of getting out of trouble, hopefully. Keep your fingers crossed. Did I split the thread? If I did, it's not a happy situation. Are you moving? Let's get the green pulled at that. There it is. It was wrapped around the green. Well, let's get this problem solved. The same problems that you meet problems in this, the same way you meet in journal making, etc. And there's usually always a way out. Oh, sometimes there isn't. Sometimes the scissors work. But okay. I'm not going to have that happen again. So we're just going to end this thread right down in there.
I'm home, Tallulah.
Yes, dear. That was my husband. Today I'm Tallulah. One never knows what I could be tomorrow. Okay. You gonna go on that side. And pink, you go with the pink. And now we're ready to go. Now. Okay. If this is right down in the center of a French knot, no problem. Where do we want this to go to? How about over there? It's the daisy stitch, and a fine one, so I'm going to pull it fairly tightly. And now another one down here, and I'll bring you in to see it. Wait a minute. Okay. Back down there in approximately the same place, but the police will not be here. Okay, let's get the loop going. Now, where do we want that? We want that to fall to down here. We want that to be a fairly long one. And if it took this piece of red up right here, no problem. It's just basting. So just chop the red and boom, it comes out. I'm thinking that that needs to have more green in it. So let's do another one right down the center there. Right up to the tie down. That's a little better. It's got a little more pizzazz. Where are we here? I'm holding it. I learned a lot yesterday. I'm going to make a smaller one here. I like to do things in odd numbers, so I'm going to put one more here. This is starting to get a little wound about, and so I'll show you what I'm going to do. The threads are twining around themselves now. This one is almost on top of that one, and that's fine because this is supposed to be nature. This is not like the crazy quilt where it has to be by the numbers. Okay. So, I want one more. One more in the satin stitch. Can't help myself. I don't want this one to be very big either. Ooh. Almost missed my loop. And nice and tiny. Well, I do believe that this will be, this will do it for today. I'm going to take off my magnifiers. Ah, yes. Okay, so you can see the idea of where I'm headed. I'll have some leaves coming down this way, of course, but I wanted to show you this satin stitch on covering this, but not all of them. This one and this one probably. Oh, definitely this one. And then I'll decide how I'm going to do the light blue, which is over here. Oh, sorry, no, not at all. The light blue, which is here. We'll have to decide when we get to it, but I do hope that you have enjoyed a little bit more of a visual of what is in my head. Fun stitches, and there's no rule that says that you have to do every place you see dark black, you have to do satin stitch, because satin stitch is a lot more difficult and tedious to do on these in these small areas. It's the truth. It's the manner of the picture here. When we're doing this, these leaves are going to be quite easy because you do the outside lazy daisy and then you fill it all in with satin stitches. This petal, let's say it's yellow, the lighter color will be laid in yellow, and then these dark coverings on the bud are going to be laid over top. These flowers have very, very little dark, and I will probably end up doing 2 shades of whatever color again, but this will be, I know a lot of you think, yes, this will be an experiment in terror, but I have learned so much, despite my so-called years of experience. You can always manage to learn. Thank you for joining me again today. When we meet again, it won't be too soon because I have other projects to work on. I haven't forgotten my ephemera collection that I was going to work on so that they could be used. And I would like to visit Long Tall Sally again, but we will return. I'm going to keep the makings of this one, in a separate thin plastic bin. That's the way I work. That's my method, so that everything will be right there at hand when I want to get back to it. I don't have to run like a chicken with my head cut off. So if you have enjoyed today, please consider giving me a thumbs up, leave a comment, and I would appreciate your subscribing to my channel. Bye until next time.